not do that and just retire. It's unfortunate when people have to retire due to injury, and too bad. So long, Jonathan Martin. Yeah, I've known it. Sorry, but I'm not gonna miss you. I didn't really watch you play a whole lot, but I wish you the best in all your future endeavors. And good luck, Carolina Panthers. They just continue to leave their question marks as question marks on their roster. What else do we got? Oh, yes, the Hall of Fame ceremony will be coming up very soon. The Vikings are actually playing in the Hall of Fame game that weekend. Now, the Hall of Fame is in the news now because Junior Seau is one of this year's inductees. If you recall, Junior Seau took his own life a few years ago. The research on his brain suggested that there was significant trauma to the brain, which likely caused or contributed significantly to his depression, which ultimately led to his suicide. His family then has had a lawsuit against the NFL, and now his family is, trying to go to the Hall of Fame ceremony to have their dad inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame. Awkward, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure the lawsuit's still pending and stuff. But so anyway, the talk about it is that one of Junior Seau's daughter would like to get up and give a 5, 10, 15 minute, a 5 to 10 minute speech, whatever, on behalf of her dad. When people get inducted into the Hall of Fame, when they're alive, they get to go up there and give a speech. If people are dead, they just play a video montage thingamabobber that is 2 minutes longer than the video montage that they play for the living people who are getting inducted. And that's it. They unveil the statue and shake hands or whatever, and that's it. Move on to the next person. This has been the rule since 2010, I believe, or policy or whatever. The Seau family is disappointed currently because, as I said, Junior Seau's daughter would like to give a small speech at her father's induction into the Hall of Fame on his behalf. She has stressed that all she wants to do is give the speech he would give. All she is going to talk about is him, the man he was, the life he lived, and what football meant to him, and what his career meant to him. And the NFL is sticking by their guns and saying, no, you can't talk at all. You can't talk at all. You guys get your video and that's it. Because that's been the rule since 2010, and we could change it right now with a snap of a fingers, but we're not going to because we're scared of the possibility of something being brought up or about the lawsuit and the brain injuries and all that stuff. And even if you don't say anything, it might make people go and Google it more or something. Who knows what the NFL's ration and logic is on this? I don't. I get borderline choked up thinking about it and how wrong this is, and how easy it would be for the NFL to just take the stance on the side and behalf of humanity and common decency and respect, as opposed to just operating and basing their decisions and choices off of paranoia and self-interest protection, which is exactly what they're doing here. And so I have a big problem with that. There's nothing I can do about it. I hope they change their minds before it's too late, because the NFL has a wonderful opportunity here to present themselves in a caring, sincere manner that nobody in this country, or the world for that matter, sees them in that light. They see them as the big, monster machine, the conglomerate, the corporate freaking conglomerate, beast. Like, I mean, all this is NFL Roger Goodell. All this is a daughter trying to honor the memory and life and deeds and person that was her father, who is no longer with us. Roger Goodell, if you're listening to the show, because I know you listen to the show actually from time to time. I hope you made it through 51 minutes here and are still listening. He tends to tune in and out at his own whims. But Roger Goodell, if you're listening, do you have daughters? I believe maybe you do. If you don't, imagine that you do. Now imagine you're dead. For any reason. It's irrelevant what the reason of how you died. And that's your biggest problem. See, that's where you can't even get past. That's where I lost him already. But imagine that you're dead, Roger Goodell. Now imagine that a couple of years have gone by and you are getting inducted for your work as NFL commissioner into the Football Hall of Fame. And your daughter, at your Hall of Fame induction, wants to give a 5 to 10 minute speech on who you were as a person and what your time in the game of football meant to you. And now imagine, okay, if you're still with me, Goodell, can you imagine all that? Now imagine some giant freaking prick with ultimate power in the matter and what happens, just turning his head and saying, "Nope, sorry, too bad, not going to do that." We've had a new rule, and we've had a new policy, I should say, in place regarding situations like this for the last few years. So now we can't do that. That's what you're doing to the Sayal family, Roger Goodell, and there's no reason for it. You have so much more to benefit. Your brand, your shield, has more to gain by allowing her to speak than it has to lose by allowing her to speak, by far. And the fact that you can't see that is very troubling. But yeah, so maybe we'll talk about that a little more when the Hall of Fame game actually takes place and the Hall of Fame ceremony actually takes place, and maybe things will have changed and it will be different by then. Hopefully Raj, as he lets me call him from time to time, like I said, he's usually listening, and I just hope he takes it to heart and can arrive at the right decision. Other tiny bit of football news. Well, not tiny. Well, yeah, tiny bit. But other bit of football news. The first female coach of any kind ever in the NFL is currently employed by the Arizona Cardinals. She was just hired. Her name is Jen Welter. She will be an inside linebackers coach. She is an interim coach. She's guaranteed to have a job now throughout the preseason. Possible, I guess, that she could get cut like players or something. At the end of the preseason. I'm not quite sure the details on that. But kudos, congratulations to her, to the Arizona Cardinals. Way to go. And to the NFL. About time. Let's maybe get a few more female officials, referees, out there. Let's maybe get some female commentators in the booth. Let's maybe have a 3-person booth for just about every show, and let's get maybe a female on commentary. More in the coaching staffs as well, and maybe some front office. How about some females in the front offices? That'd be wow. Wow. Slow down, Scotty Ball. Slow down, Scotty. All right, but anyway, and then finally, of course, Tom Brady's stupid freaking balls. All right, so Tom Brady's balls are back in the news again because after weeks of trying to negotiate a 1 to 2 game compromise on his suspension, and this is where Goodell, I'm on Goodell's side sometimes. Goodell and the whole freaking Deflategate Brady thing, it's hard to be against him unless you're an idiot who's just biased on Tom Brady's behalf. Tom Brady cheated to gain a competitive advantage in a football game, knowingly and intentionally. And then he cheated in the investigation to find out and prove whether or not he cheated. So he's got 2 cheating violations here, okay? And they only want to suspend him 1 game for the actual cheating violation, the first cheating violation, the taking the air out of the footballs. That's all they wanted to do. Tom, this is what they said to him in the weeks of negotiation. Tom, here's the deal with your balls, okay? You need to say, yeah, I told some guys that were handling my balls to make them soft, because I like them soft, okay? I didn't know they were going to make them too soft. My bad. Boom. That's it. Done. NFL says, yes, sweet. Okay, 1 game for that, that's all. Start of the season, doesn't matter. Boom. No, instead, Tom Brady decides to fight it. He says, nope, I'm not admitting anything. Because you didn't prove 100% beyond a reasonable doubt that I did it. So, no, you can't punish me at all. I will fight even that. We'll take it to federal court. So that's where we're at now. Brady's appeal of his 4 games. Brady's 4-game suspension was upheld in the NFL appeal process by judge, jury, and executioner Roger Goodell. Roger Goodell, excuse me. And now Brady and the NFL Players Association will be taking it to federal court, where they hope that a judge will overturn that. And the ironic thing is they are not arguing or having him overturn it at all based off of claims that Tom Brady did not do any of the wrongdoings. No. Their only leg to stand on and what they are fighting in the court is that the process that the NFL went through wasn't correct or fair. Not that any of its findings were inaccurate or untrue, but just that the process itself was unfair. So, one of their big things is, well, they did not prove. They had no hard evidence. Funny thing with that came out with the story of the suspension being upheld is apparently Tom Brady's phone, which the NFL asked for, because it had relevant evidence on it. And if this was a criminal case and Tom Brady was under criminal investigation, your phone is evidence and they have every right to look at it from an evidence standpoint. Tom Brady conveniently and ironically enough, just coincidentally, destroyed that phone and the SIM card in it the day of or the day before. And yet, Tom Brady says they have no evidence. Tom Brady's camp says they didn't have enough evidence. Where's your evidence? You destroyed the freaking evidence. And then Tom says, well, that's a common practice of mine, every 4 months I get a new phone and I destroy the old one. And the SIM card, too? I know people